Hey guys, it's your boy Fenner here. Alright, not really. How's it going, guys? It's Kamker. And this is gonna be the first time. I guess I have some explaining to do. Sort of. I'm still kind of sick, but I've mostly gotten over it. And I haven't been really busy with anything lately. All the qualifiers and tournaments and lands and leveling and everything has all been taken care of for me. So I have like a clean slate and finally have time to get back into my videos, which are going to be being uploaded at least once a week. You can expect one video guide a week, and now and then an occasional extra little thing, like who knows, you'll just have to stay tuned and see. But I just wanted to say that because for a long time I've been saying on my stream, for like 2 or 3 weeks, I've been saying like, yeah guys, I'm gonna make a video this week, yeah guys, I'm gonna make a video this week. But every single time something came up, whether it was like my dog, who you can see sleeping back there on my unmade bed, my dog, he got a bone that he was chewing. He chewed off like a giant shard. It got stuck in his stomach. And I had to take him to the emergency room at like literally 1 in the morning. I didn't get home till 4 in the morning. And then the next day he had to go to the animal hospital. And then it was like this 3 or 4 long day thing of having to like pick him up from one place, drop him off at another, all this different stuff. But it's all good now. He's perfectly fine. He got his stitches out. He's just taking a little nap. And so I am back, officially back. I didn't have a whole lot of planning for this video. So I was thinking ideas, hey, what am I going to go over today? And then I remembered that Maru 2-raxed Hero in IEM. Spoilers, Maru got second place in IEM. I really wanted him to win. I really thought he was going to win. And then just kind of from some unlucky things, he lost. But he still did really amazing. His games were still really fun to watch. And he did like all these new strategies, which I'm going to be making a lot of videos about going over. Because Maru like literally came into this tournament like doing like things that nobody's seen before, basically. It wasn't like mind-blowing, groundbreaking things, but Maru basically had his own like play styles and little like themes set up in his play, with his like really aggressive openings versus Zerg, and like his like play versus Protoss was really good too. His games versus Hero, like the macro games he played, they were really quite impressive. Really nice play. So yeah, I'm going to be going over all that and more, depending on what's happening in the coming weeks. Let me go over to the StarCraft stream. I don't need these texts right now. There we go. No clutter. We just want to see the game. It's a beautiful game, and we'd like to see it. Okay. So yeah, I really wanted to make a video, but I've kind of been out of the loop a little bit, so I wasn't sure what to make it on. But these IEM replays, where is this game? It's in the Maru vs Sulky. Hero vs Maru. I literally passed it. Wow. Okay, so it was game 1 on Overgrowth. This is a Proxy Rax 11-11 versus Protoss. So yeah, it's kind of all in. I know a lot of people aren't really comfortable with 2-raxing versus Protoss because it seems so scary, because the Protoss player, you know, they're going to have their mothership core. They might be making an early zealot, like they're going to chrono boost the stalker out. Probes are imba. You may be thinking, hey, I don't want to do this. But if you do it correctly and you follow the very specific build order and timings kind of that Maru does, it can be really strong and really a pain in the butt to stop for a Protoss. It's just kind of a matter of getting the little intricacies down about it. So we will go to Maru's vision and we will start this replay. But right before I start it, another thing to note is you can see that this game is 19 minutes long, which means that he doesn't actually win with this 2-rax. He is playing CJ Hero. CJ Hero, top of the line Protoss, like basically as good as a Protoss can get. And Maru had enough faith in his 2-rax that he uses it game 1 versus Hero. And while he doesn't win this game outright, because obviously Hero's a very, very good player, he does secure himself a bit of an advantage, and I'll be talking about how you can just straight up win with this build, and if you don't straight up win, the things you can do to get yourself an economic lead in the game, coming off the back of the 2-racks. That was a lot to say, sorry. Okay. Pulling a day 9 over here with like no game sounds. Just kidding, I'm not as cool as day 9. Okay, so the first thing Maru does when he's 2-raxing is he sets the base locations for his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th base, just in case. No goofing around. Maru's like, well, just in case my 2 barracks play doesn't work, I'm gonna want to be able to, you know, have my 4th base cam down, which is good. You should all do that. Highly recommend using the base cameras. The first SCV you pull at roughly 45 seconds. Boom, there's the SCV. And look at the sweet proxy location that he's going to use on this map. He sent his SCV to right there. If you proxy your barracks here and here, it's just out of range of the watchtower. It's also super, super close to your opponent's base on this particular map. And a scouting probe that's leaving out will go like this. And your barracks are going to be over here. So, while I can't tell you where to 2-racks exactly on every single map, I can say that it's a really awesome location is right here on this map. 10 barrack or 10 depot, obviously it's going to be a double 11. You pull your second SCV around like a minute 13. Never mind, a minute 7. I pull mine too late. You pull it around a minute 7. It looks like. He does stop in at the towers, I think, with the second one. He just runs straight to proxy the first barracks. And then I think he's going to be checking in. Doesn't wall with the SCV, because obviously, you know, you want to save as much mining time as possible. Basic stuff. That shouldn't be anything new. So, barracks number 1. God, Maru, just look at this. Checks the tower to see if a probe would have been walking by. That's just something you can do on this map. Okay. I said a minute 13 seconds. Maru pulled his SCV at a minute 7, but you can see he doesn't quite have enough minerals yet. So I would say roughly between a minute 7 seconds, a minute 13 seconds is when you can pull your second SCV to get there exactly on time. Not that I'm doubting or questioning Maru, I'm just saying. Okay, boom. So barracks number 2. Just out of range of that watchtower, so even if the Protoss were to check the watchtower, he would not see them. Protoss player we have over here, he went for a normal 13 gateway, 15 gas, he's getting his second pylon. Hero's going to be doing just a normal gateway expand, which should be most commonly what you face on the ladder. So after the barracks go down, he goes up to 13 SCVs, and then you're going to make your first Marine, and you're going to make your orbital command. 2-raxing versus Protoss is just a little bit different than 2-raxing versus Zerg. He is taking the watchtower with his SCV that built the first barracks. That's not super important to note. What is important to note is that this first SCV that finishes building the barracks does not go straight into the Protoss's base. He doesn't let the Protoss know that he's got some SCV waiting around here just as soon as it gets done with the barracks. So if there's not a watchtower for you to chill on the map, you can usually just chill around your barracks with your SCV at first, but don't just like run into the Protoss's base, because if you run straight up into his base and he goes, like that SCV was quite early, you know, maybe I'm going to scout around, or maybe I'm going to make a zealot now, and you want to do everything you can to be hiding that information. We're about to see the SCVs get pulled. Okay, so the next thing is, after Maru's second barracks finishes, and he makes his next 2 sets of Marines, you're going to pull 3 to 4 SCVs from your main. Comes out around 308, 305, 308 is when you're going to pull a couple SCVs, and you most often you take those SCVs and you click them on the mineral patch in the Protoss's base, because that way they will run through unobstructed and get to the base. You build your first Marine, then your second barracks finishes, so then you build 2 more Marines, So then you're up to 3 Marines. Then you build 2 more Marines, putting you at 5 Marines. And when you build your 4th and 5th Marine, that's when it's time to put a supply depot down at home. And you're not attacking right away with your Marines. You attack sort of with everything at once. You like build up enough stuff. And you can see around the time, you know, that he sent his SCVs, that's when now it's time to get in here with this SCV. So we can start looking about what the Protoss is doing and decide where we're going to put a bunker down. Production tab open. And boom, that's when the depot went down. So he made 2 SCVs out of his command center, dropped the mule, went up to max supply, and then put the supply depot down. So he's already got 3 Marines. He's got all his SCVs on the way, along with his first 2 SCVs. He's leading with the first one, so he can come in and just do what looks like a normal scout. And then he's rallying in the 4th and 5th Marines from his barracks. So he comes in, and he does what to the Protoss looks like roughly an ordinary scout, and then he comes over here and puts the bunker down by the ramp. Putting your first bunker down by the ramp is good for a lot of reasons. Reason number 1, I'll just kind of brush through them. It creates little choke points right here. So if I put my first bunker right here, or right here, which is a bit closer to the base, he can just run up with probes, surround it, mineral walk, try to surround all the Marines. But if he were to pull probes right here, with your SCVs and more Marines coming in, you'd be able to form a little bit of a wall there where he couldn't really get any good surface area. And you'd hopefully, you know, be able to kill a couple probes and stutter step away, and he'd have to pull back. So really important is that you put a bunker down in a place like this. Secondly, it is out of range. So if the Protoss player doesn't, doesn't think anything of the SCV he saw in his base, that bunker might go up for free, uncontested. Protoss player doesn't even scout it. The last reason is that occasionally when you're 2-Rexing a Protoss, they do this weird thing where they just try to avoid you and avoid you and avoid you, and then they like run, they try to run around out of their base with all their units and build a nexus somewhere else. If you 2-Rex Protosses ever, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It sounds really weird, but sometimes it happens. And having this bunker here will allow you to like put down either bunkers or depots or ebays or whatever you want to wall off should the Protoss for some reason decide to do that. And it will just save you a couple minutes of not having to chase them around the map and kill all their buildings. Okay, so you see that he did kill that probe, but he's not focused at all on killing this nexus. This nexus is literally worthless. What your objectives are in this situation is, how do I say this? You want, your first bunker is really just a rally point for your units to group up with. And you're going to want to leapfrog bunkers forward, sort of like you would do with siege tanks. So by having this bunker in a safe area, you know, the Nexus cannon can't attack it, so it's always something you can fall back to. And when you go forwards to do your more aggressive bunkers, if he pulls probes in a lot of units, it's basically just a fallback point. But your objectives here is to, if possible, damage the mothership core as much as possible and not lose Marines at all. You want to have like the highest unit retention you can possibly have. So even if it means missing out on 1 or 2 probe kills, what's most important is that all your Marines survive, because when you get 1 or 2 bunkers up in range of the Nexus, if all your Marines have survived, you're going to have sick damage output. So above all else, prioritize not losing your Marines, and then right under that, prioritize either trying to kill the mothership core and or probes, and then below that, just whatever is available for you to kill. Maybe a stalker's out of position, maybe the zealot gets too close, whatever you can kill basically. So leading with these SCVs, he's going to throw a bunker down as soon as he has the money for it. As soon as he has the money. And see, he's focused firing that mothership core and then just pulling back because he doesn't want to lose these. And as this bunker is getting ready, still focusing the mothership core, but he's running up to try to hop in this bunker. And, you know, he's already got a good amount of probe kills, 7 probe kills. So if I go to the unit, the income, we can see that even though Maru's pulled a bunch of his own SCVs and gone for this really aggressive strategy, he's like double mining what his Protoss opponent is, because he has a mule back home and because the Protoss player had to pull probes, and the Protoss player lost all that mining time and lost a lot of probes. And this just goes to show that even if you don't outright win with this build, it's possible to get a really good advantage from it. And now Maru, now that we're kind of in the next phase of the 2-racks, his next main objective is to get this bunker up. So you can see he's not going after probes. He's not like sacrificing to try to kill the mothership core. The only thing he's concerned about is retaining as many units as he can while getting his next bunker up. Now he's got it up. Okay, in this situation, what it appears to be is you always, if possible, like Maru got pretty lucky with this like building placement. Killing pylons is always good if you didn't kill any probes. If you killed a lot of probes, killing pylons is okay. It's still a good thing to do, but it's not as crippling as if you didn't kill a lot of probes. A lot of probes are still alive, which means a lot of hero supply is still left over in stalkers, which means anytime he wants to make, you know, more stalkers or like more probes or anything, he's going to have to get early pylons a lot quicker, which will delay or has the ability to delay his future production structures. Whereas if he doesn't have very many probes at all, you'd rather focus on the gateway, because if he's only got 10 probes and a stalker and you kill this pylon, you're not going to supply block him anyways. So I hope that was kind of explained clear. But really, in a lot of games, you're just going to have to take what you can get. If you build your bunker, you obviously want to build it within range of buildings, preferably within range of the Nexus. Okay, let's just pretend for a second that Maru didn't lose, you know, things worked out a little bit better for him. He didn't lose quite as many Marines. He didn't lose, you know, his 4 SCVs that he brought with, and he still had a couple left. The Nexus charge is going to be ready soon. Now, the two things you can do with the Nexus charge is, if you have a lot of SCVs left over, you can build like literally like 2-3 bunkers. Just keep building bunkers and using bunkers and mass repair to contest the Nexus. Maru doesn't have that option because he has 1 SCV. That'll get targeted down really easy. He wasn't able to get any other bunkers up. So in Maru's mind now, instead of being in kill mode, because he can't kill anymore, he can't get a kill on this Nexus no matter what he does. He doesn't have the bunkers he needs. He doesn't have the repairs he needs. It's not possible for him to get the kill. So Maru has already knows that, and he's already switched into containment mode, which is why you see him building another bunker. In this game, you're going to see Maru, who's been making SCVs the whole time, is going to contain his opponent while building an expansion of his own. And that's going to be how Maru gets a lead in this particular game, where he doesn't win with the 2-racks. So if the 2-racks goes good, if you still have SCVs left over, you go in for the kill, you go for the repair and the micro. If it doesn't, you just go for the contain, and then you basically just play with an advantage. So he runs back to the bunker, gets his CC down at home because he still has hero contained right now. So being fairly even on workers, Maru with the mineral income advantage because of mules, gets his CC down first while he still has his opponent contained. Now that he has his CC down, he can focus more on containing his opponent, and you'll see so by Maru building more bunkers to further delay how long it will take for Hero to get out of his base. He's sending a couple units home, which is smart. The reason he's sending 3 Marines home is because if Hero were to leave his base with the Mothership Corps to go try to harass the SCV line, because Maru's production is all in the air floating and he'd have no units back at home, he has to send these 3 units home because 3 Marines is enough to kill the Mothership Corps. This is very peaceful right now, this game. Maru going for another bunker. And then we see the Mothership Corps going across right now, so it's really good that he sent those 3 Marines back. So the way the game looks right now is Maru has essentially forced Hero to all in. Hero's on 3 gateways. He's getting a Twilight Council at 7 minutes. A Blink Stalker attack could already be almost hitting now. But Hero's like in this weird, gross position where he's like got to do it off one base just because that's the path he's been forced down. And Maru's back at home getting his 3rd barracks up, getting his double gas geysers just like a normal Terran build. He's got his command center basically done. Hero has no command center at all, or expansion. He's still sitting in his base just now getting some crappy tech out that isn't going to be able to do anything. Okay, and with that, I actually want to end the game because what happens after that is not important. What is important and what you can perfect and which is easily graspable and attainable is just the concepts of the opening. You know, if you can go for the kill, you go for the kill. If not, you use this really aggressive opening to get you some type of advantage in the game. This wasn't the greatest video. This isn't the greatest build. It is a really good build if you're a finesse type player. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned because there's going to be more videos in the future. See you in the next one.